It's so, you know what? I just like old time. Hey, but more Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I'm SlayerMathis, and last time we helped out the Omega, getting Miyabi back and getting me ability to level 20. Zephyr class, how are we doing that yet? I have some time with the speaking. Let's just go into what Troubadour can do kind of at a basic. Skills and long charges to allies' arts when incapacitated. Dance of Barrages has a chance to recharge, to keep your recharge using an art. Your own arts recharge when an ally is incapacitated, and boosts the allies' accuracy and evasion for the entire party. It's really good. Troubadour is an insanely good support class. Swift Song doesn't stack as it says on there, but it is a master skill, so it carries over. You can hit on anything. Autumn Ring is regenerate on yourself. Way Home is burst. Ring of Roses is fast recharge. Twin Moons has a chance to remove all buffs. Shadow boosts your recharge speed. Taken. Glittering Melody recharges for able to fight. And it also gives you Glittering Melody Troubadour. Insane. It's ridiculous how strong the tree support.
I'm glad we were able to see.
Yeah, thank everyone. Next stop, the Cloudkeep. So,
at the Troubadour and Signifer Age is big. So I think you can even think both Oriole and was it? I think our masters or master arts, I should say. So yeah, very good. Very again, Troubadour. I mean, I'm gonna classes
halfway to the. We've just to stick it out longer than.
Far more, you know. I mean, like, the marker.
What's up? So you've got M's memories. You need a wee whisper with it. You do, yeah. What though? Tell me stuff. Tell you what? Start the Queen and Mobius. Anything you got. Like what? How the two did? Or where you are?
Oi, no giving out excessives.
Lance.
We know this stuff too, right?
Well, I suppose. But still.
Yeah. I trust Mimi. If it was important, I'm sure she'd tell us everything.
And since she's not saying, there's a reason, right?
If it's about the Queen, you shouldn't hear it from me, but rather from Her Majesty herself, I think. The Queen's bound to know things that aren't.
Oh, so that's it then? You're just gonna pass the buck?
Well, I suppose so.
Feels a bit stingy, that's all.
Hey, no grumbling. I'm in the same as you, okay?
Right, alright, I'll yield. Might as well save my appetite for the main course.
And secrets are fun. Secrets, I don't know. Secrets should be one. I don't know. The usual thing. Also, I do like a little bit of a problem too. I think they're Amludes. That's a nice little thing. It's time to fight. Still 8 gold coins. Really? I just need more. One more gold coin.
Shall we deal with this?
Whatever. We got Dracoon Thenos. Thenos? It's Thenos.
Here's a tough customer.
Honestly, probably the C is, silent. Or, I don't know, man. It's probably a Greek name. It's all Greek to me. Also, yeah, we're literally, like, right here.
Sweet, let's poke around.
The altar of reception.
Glad I made this journey.
Nothing special here.
Friends, sure we come to right place?
We're good. You'll see.
Is the... That's the Cloudkeep.
Whoa. Fantastic tech. Amazing how they kept hidden.
So is this where the Queen's been sleeping then?
Yes. Right at the very top.
Right. Let's move. Not far now. A few more stairs. We might finally discover the way to free the world. End Mobius's reign.
What kind of place is it?
Now, I get it. We probably could, try to stop Mobius. But once we enter the Cloudkeep, that is actually the end of Chapter 6. Well, obviously there's stuff going on between. Like, it's not just you enter there as Chapter 7. But yeah, like I said, this is a very short chapter. As we are already at the end of it. We're going to do some side questing as we head through. But I actually use this time to talk one problem that I do have with the story. Now, the story is fantastic. We'll grant that, going to say anything. However, this is more of just my personal taste in writing fiction. Now, of course, the big moment is Neo's supposed death. We have big off ceremony. You have a lot of stuff going on. It seems like it's the very end of, well, everything. Also, you can already see how good Troubadour is. But it's obviously, it's fantastic writing. You really feel it in the emotions, in the music. It's all fantastic there. But my biggest pet peeve in writing is sacrifices that don't matter. Now, it's more complex than just saying it's the simplification of it. But when a sacrifice is undone so quickly after it's made, I really am not a big fan of that. It's, those guys again. When that kind of stuff is made, I really don't like it. I think that being revived instantly is not something I really like. Now, again, the way that they did the sacrifice is fantastic, and I think there's no way that you would make the story better by not having this, right? But the fact that it ends up feeling like all that build-up, it kind of falls flat, in my opinion, when Mio comes back half an hour after she supposedly dies. Again, this is my personal opinions towards writing. This is just how I feel toward it. So, my first playthrough, I was very much not a fan. I've definitely cooled off about it. I've accepted more of the good parts of the story up until that point. But just it rubbed me the wrong way how quickly things went back to being good. Because it makes, in my opinion, there's all with this stuff, and I'm certainly up for being wrong about stuff, but it feels like it doesn't matter. And it feels like you get all this build-up for nothing in the end. Again, it's not what it actually is, but it just, I don't know. To me, it ends up chinning that. It's somewhat to the level. It's obviously not as bad, but feels like it's towards the level of jump scare or emotion. It doesn't feel like tragedy is earned, in my opinion. I was compare this with this being my opinion. Right with the story, it feels less impactful. You have short turnaround between big sacrificials and thing out. I think that Xenoblade 1 very well with think does this as well. But there's moments, mainly Pyra gets tempted a little bit longer, and it's somewhat similar. Technically speaking, the entirety of Xenoblade 2 is this trope. Just because I kind of often forget that Rex died. By the way, is really interesting with hers. She activates an additional character with the chance for 2 characters to be reactivated. As for hers, she actually boosts Mio's TP, which is real weird. Yeah, Miyabi just has such weird concept in chain attacks. She does make Mio the absolute best in chain attacks, though. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah, just when I first played through, I couldn't really get into the rest of the story because of it. Because there was this, and I was almost a little bit stained because I was so invested up to that point, and I was so intrigued by what's going to happen next. What, you know, because, again, figured going through into the homecoming ceremony, okay, how is she gonna get out of this? And then she didn't. Which, fantastic idea, right? You know, you have the expectation from anything, really, in fiction that, alright, the good guy's gonna win. And then you proceed to, you don't win. You outright lose. Mio's dead, Mobius seems to have won, and you seem to be dead. But then that just gets undone, and I felt like it couldn't go much better from there. I don't know, I have weird opinions towards storytelling, and the story is fantastic. And even without that gripe, even with me lightening up with being less bitter about how that particular turnaround to story ends, the story does fall off significantly after this point. Chapter 7 is pretty short as well. Chapter 6 is really... There's a few moments, but I don't know. It doesn't feel right. I get pointed by the story a little bit. And, I mean, again, it's a very little bit. It's a very minute, very minor. And there's part of the story that I initially, my first playthrough, I didn't like, but that's because I was still pretty sour from having the quick turnaround. So, yeah, I owe it, but it still doesn't mean I'm the biggest fan of that. It's not a problem with telling in specific, it's a trope in fiction that I just don't like. And it doesn't vibe with me. I have qualms if she does like, but me, it just doesn't. The idea of having revives come so quick, just, yeah. I'm talking in Star Point, but it's pretty true that because, back in middle, they had a creative writing. It was either that, or either we had to take writing or some art class, and terrible at it. So, yeah. But this ended up being, from the class, ended up being, there was once a guy named Tim. Tim died. Then he came back to life. Then he died again. Then he came back to life. And, I mean, obviously, this isn't as, you know, as much a moment like that. Also, Jesus, he's doing a lot of damage. Once we get him back up, then, I do mean once we get back up, yeah, the instant move. But yeah, it's something that I first doing. So, set on that trope ever since, and it's something that is fairly common in JRPGs. I prefer when these sacrifices are really, really meaningful, perhaps. I probably value it a little bit too much, to be honest. So, it's just how I vibe, and that kind of storytelling just doesn't vibe with me, so it's whatever. We can work with it in the end. The point leading up to that is still so amazing, and I'm never going to deny that in any shape or form. The way that they storytelling, they draw you in so well, and the way that they can make it so emotional for characters that you hold all to. You know them a lot with a lot of characters because we're at like 80 hours of gameplay right now. But yeah, leading up to that point is fantastic, and it's why I'll say Chapter 1 through Chapter 5 especially is some of the best storytelling I've ever seen. Anything after the camp is absurdly good. But yeah, Chapter 6 and 7 fall off pretty hard in mine. They aren't bad, but they can't reach the heights of Chapter. There's one moment coming up that is pretty intense, but that's just one moment. And other than that, there's another part that I'm not the biggest fan of again, but we'll get to those when we get to those, and maybe I'll try to, for once in my life, be positive and not bring it up when it's a part of the story that I'm not as big a fan of. I held it off until this point, but it's, again, that's just a gripe that I have in storytelling in general. So, it's nothing on the way that the story's told, it's just sometimes people don't vibe with certain things, and I just don't vibe with revivals, mainly. Yeah. I mean, like, obvious gameplay, story dissonance, you're gonna have some deaths in combat because video games, right? You want to have them difficult, so you're not gonna get 100% through, but it's these story fights that really matter, and just having such a quick turnaround, and yeah. Having, like, in Xenoblade 2, I think, fantastic. Again, mentioned, Fiora, mentioned Fiora, sorry. Massive sacrifices are permanent. Really, were those only again? We up healing. Oh, we did pick up finally 49. Just to time's almost at rank 20 for sir. Just to check what we have Soul Hacker. Alright. Just is an arc. I don't actually have to really. Oh, right. Do once. Oh, it is in an area. Okay. What class was Len? Right. Again, I just wanted to get that rant out of the way. I'm to be so negative, but it's just parts of storytelling I don't get as well. But again, my opinion, I'm not going to deny if you think the twist is fantastic. I'm not going to deny if you are a fan of that trope. Again, it's just not for me. What even was the name? Another memory locket. Yeah, that's worth it. Unblocking, that's pretty good. Yeah, we'll buy one of those. But that will it for them. Next time, we'll start. We'll go and start our journey through questing. But until then, see you guys later.